What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another Gazer Forged live stream. Impromptu, last minute. I appreciate anyone who's here. Um, we'll talk a little bit, let some people kind of trickle in here. We got some big ICCC news that just dropped, maybe 25 minutes ago?
It was huge. I had somebody actually message me and say, "Hey, did you see the ICC news?" And then they told me, I'm like, "That's a huge name."
That
Like,
is a huge name. Yes, absolutely. So we're getting bigger and better, and ladies and gentlemen, it will continue to get bigger and better. I have a feeling. So, um, dude, I like your new background. What'd you do? Kind of take us through your new background back there, dude.
so I kind of rearranged some stuff. I had like I don't know if you've ever seen there's like groovy like wall like triangle things. I've
Okay.
had them over on the wall over like here where I like watch stuff,
Yeah.
but I haven't really done anything with them. I originally tried to make them go down here because I was like, oh, that'll look really cool. And then gravity was not my friend.
Oh no.
And after several attempts and a lot of swearing, I gave up on it and decided to just, I think I could set them right here. I think that looks good. So,
I love it.
so I put that there. I'll have my saber back up, but this is my kiddo's saber on mute. So, so it's just sitting
That's sick,
back
dude.
here.
That's sick though. You got it to hang, and that's sick. It looks really good, dude. I like that new setup of yours.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I kind of
Mm.
I like the backup lighting and it kind of gets
Yep.
all the cool stuff in view.
Yeah, absolutely. I changed mine a little bit, because I was
Oh,
interviewing Roger. I put the Cinema
yep.
Alchemist back there and
Oh,
his lightsaber and
I
everything.
got mine up there too.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! We're like twinsies. So yeah,
So
super.
yeah, speaking of which, yeah, we both have Roger interviews coming out this weekend too.
We do, yes. 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We are actually both going to drop our interviews with Roger Christian at the same time. So you'll have two different ones you can go watch. It'll be fun.
It was epic. Just talking to that guy was surreal. Like I could not believe I was talking to this man,
I
and
know.
like if you watch mine, I am grinning like a moron through the entire thing. I tried so hard to keep my like fanboy down, but I'm just like, tell me more.
When I first started asking him questions, I was a little nervous, and then after like the first question, I realized this dude is super chill, and so I
Oh, he
just
is.
it helped me out big time. Clone Force 97, what is up? Thanks for joining the live stream, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, new setup for Mr. Forged over there.
Yeah, I was trying to make everything a little bit more professional and clean looking because I was about to interview an Oscar winner, so I felt I needed to glossy up things a little bit for him.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Dude is such a down to earth, humble dude. It's
It
crazy,
is
man.
for all the things he's done, and he's just like the coolest guy. And you're
Oh
just like,
yeah,
you invented lightsabers. You should be way like big
yeah,
time than this.
right, exactly, 100%, dude, 100%. Yeah, dude,
But
that's
yeah,
just
it
wild.
was an amazing interview. Like, shout out to Star Wars Nerd for getting me in contact with him for even making that even happen. I still can't believe it happened. It was just mind blowing.
It is completely mind blowing. Need a 6 foot space Jesus in the background. I agree.
You do,
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah,
It would really kind of tie the room together.
it would. It really would. Especially with all the blue you got going on there and stuff. Like it would
Yeah,
completely tie the room together.
if I could make it like just occasionally pop up and just with an occasional hello there,
Right? Yeah. Or
probably
you just
scare the
need to
crap
have,
out of me.
if you don't already, you need to have one of those sound box systems with the buttons, the one touch buttons,
Yes.
and then just have one that just says hello there every time you hit it.
Dude, we could be like the morning zoo. I could just be over here just working a soundboard the whole time.
Yeah, that would be
Just
awesome.
alarm noises, like ka-ching,
I love it.
boom goes the dynamite.
Right? We got a new guest. Ka-ching!
Wah, wah, wah.
That show, that one about the guys that work in the store, called the Superstore or whatever, and that one guy that's always like, wah, 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 like, oh man, oh, I love that. What have you been up to tonight, sir?
Not a lot. Just been relaxing. I've been on a few streams. I bought a few cards off Star Wars Nerd earlier, and then I wasn't even paying attention, and I won like Battle Pack's first giveaway on the stream he's
I
on
saw
right
that.
now.
I
I was
immediately said rigged. That's
like
rigged.
I was over there. I was like literally making my kid like dinner, and then I just like I heard like Battle Pack say Kyber Forge. And I like looked down, like holy crap, I won! Like
That's awesome. I love winning those giveaways. They're sweet.
So yeah, and I've never had any Star Wars Unlimited cards, but man, those things look cool. Like
They're pretty cool.
so,
Yeah, I have
won't
a
mind
few.
seeing
I have
those in
one
the
of the.
binder.
Yep. I end up having to buy a binder and like those football card sleeves because
I,
I literally I have way too many. I think I'm thinking about starting a whatnot and selling my cards.
I'm not
For
there yet.
ICCC.
I got maybe a couple dozen. I'm building my collection for ICC. So
Yeah.
but
Cool, dude.
speaking
Heck
of
yeah.
ICC,
Yes. We have some pretty big news from ICCC, guys. This was just announced, like I said, 35 minutes ago now. I'm going to pull it up here for everyone. And this is something that I am so excited for. And let's see. Here we go, guys. We're going to share this. In 3, 2, 1. Wah, wah, wah. There we go. Mr. Warwick Davis was just announced tonight at ICCC.
Wicked, Willow, so many characters in like Harry Potter,
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun. Like dude's played so many things.
He
Like
has. And I always love Star Wars Sith. Shout out Star Wars Sith 66. I always love his story about, being at the hotel with in the same hotel as them, and he's getting on the elevator and in wheels Warwick Davis. And he's like, "Sir, could you please press floor 4?" And he's like, yeah. Like, no problem, man. Like,
a
just
legend just
wild.
asked me a question. Like, oh my god.
What am I gonna do? Oh man.
Yeah, that is huge news. Like the guest list just keeps getting beefed up. Like the closer we
It
get,
does.
like I'm just so psyched. Like
It does. And
definitely crank the hype meter.
And it's definitely gonna get bigger. And that's the thing too. Like, look at this right here. Does anyone recognize what movie that's from? I do. I know exactly where that's from.
Which one is that?
It's the
In the
Phantom
bottom
Menace.
corner. Yes.
Right here. Phantom Menace. He's
when he's up in the booth.
crowd. He's not in the booth, but he's in the crowd talking to someone, and he turns and he like points and laughs or whatever. I was like, "Hey, it's Warwick." They keep including this guy on everything. I love it. And yep, obviously up here he was one of the what are those called in Harry Potter? The bankers, the goblins.
Goblins, yes.
Yep.
And I didn't even realize that he played that like young Rhodian like friend of like Anakin's. I did not know he played that character until I saw this like this little snapshot here, and I was like, I didn't even know that. So yeah, he's played even more Star Wars characters than I even realized.
I know, right? Even more than you realize. Yep. And I love the story. I love the story of the Ewoks. I mean, he kind of got there accidentally. I don't know if you remember seeing that at all or not, but he talks about they actually had someone else lined up for the Ewok suit, and that person ended up getting really sick. And because of that, they ended up putting him in the suit and just kept him. So,
and like I heard like all the stories like how him and like Carrie Fisher like had like a really like good friendship. She kind of like it was kind of a scary thing for him being so young, being on that set. And he was talking about like how she was really like cool and made him feel comfortable, and like really bunch of nice stories like coming out of that guy. Like I cannot wait.
Absolutely. Yeah. What's up, Star Wars nerd? Good to see you, sir.
Dude.
Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Star Wars Nerd's going with us here. I'm gonna
Yep.
be the one guy to bring a Harry Potter item for him to sign. Do it, dude. Do
My
it.
wife will be right next to you.
Did you show have you shown your wife yet?
No, she actually is not feeling well, so she's in bed. So I'm letting her sleep and kind of feel better for tomorrow. And then
Gotcha.
I'm gonna tell her like this dude that's played so many different like characters in Harry Potter is going to be there. Like, so
Yeah.
we need to find you something to get signed now.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's sweet. And hopefully, we get like I said before, we get press passes and we're able to kind of walk around and see him in the
Fingers
hotel and
crossed.
stuff. And luckily enough, me, Star Wars nerd, and my artist, I got room in the actual conference center hotel. So hopefully we walk around and see him wheeling around and be like, "Hey, Warwick, how's it going?"
Yeah, like all the stories I've heard of just people just running into these like just people from Star Wars, it blows my mind. Like
I know, right?
these people are legends, like,
They
and they're
are.
just amongst us.
I know. I see legends. It's not I see dead people. It's I see legends.
It's going to be so insane. Like I I just the what they got so far is amazing, and I know it's only like February. Like there's
Yeah.
still so much
It's
time.
it's
They're
gonna
definitely going
get
to have some
better.
more.
I,
Like
I I have this deep dark feeling that not dark, this deep awesome feeling that it's gonna get a lot better as time goes on.
yes,
From what I
it's
hear and everything, and the little bit I've interacted with Michael at Iccc, dude's got some stuff up his sleeves. I feel like,
I yes, I believe there is definitely some big things coming, and
and I'm excited. I'm
it's
here
going to be
for
an
it, man.
awesome con. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
can't wait,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
keeping my fingers crossed that Revenge of the Sith is still in theaters. So
Why do you say
we'll,
that, Star Wars nerd? I might pop up, and then who's gonna look stupid then?
hey, I put him on my application for so.
My man. When you texted me that, I had to laugh. I was like, "That's awesome."
Well, see, I literally I put down like me, you, and then because like my wife usually sometimes like will take the camera for me. I was like, okay, fine, you're videographer, photographer. So because they said you get two people, so
That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. I love it.
so
Yeah,
hopefully,
dude. Are you gonna be on Nerds Galore tomorrow?
yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, I honestly I have not 100% looked into the conspiracy. I used to love this stuff when I was like younger, but I have not looked into it in like a few years. So I'm going to have to
That's fine.
refresher myself tomorrow. But yeah, I'm game. I'm always game, no matter what we talk about.
Heck yeah, my buddy at work, Colin, he's gonna join us for an
Awesome.
episode, and we'll have Whistle and Bree, Seth Bariza. We'll have my buddy Andy Garcia again, for sure. Those will be the for sure ones. So, it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna talk about, like I said, those files. They haven't come out yet, but I wanted to talk about the stories where we were told, and then talk about the conspiracies behind each one
Hmm.
regarding each story, and kind of get things set up for when those do get released. So.
Yeah, they're. I mean, they're very interesting. Like things that you've heard over the years, and I mean, it's definitely stuff worth taking a look at. And
Yeah.
I mean, and even if like if nothing comes out, it's still fun. Like
Yeah.
it's still fun to read this stuff. I mean, I've always kind of dug it just because it's almost like the fan theories of like movies. It's great to take
Right.
like existing material and maybe just look at it from a different angle, and
Right. Yep.
so we'll see. We'll see what we figure out tomorrow.
Clone Force 97 says, I can't wait for Revenge of the Sith to come back to theaters, plus the merch. Absolutely, man.
Oh, there's gonna be so much good Revenge of the Sith stuff coming out.
Yep.
I can't wait for that.
Yep.
Yes, I will buy it all.
I want to talk about this because I did see this. Disney is bringing Luke to Disney
Oh
parks on May the
yeah,
4th during the Revenge of the Sith anniversary. Hey, Disney, way to drop the ball there, buddy. Good. Butterfingers.
I wonder. So I wonder if that just kind of solidifies the rumor more that they're making a Luke Skywalker movie. Like, because I keep
Maybe.
hearing things that they are like, with the actor like that has been playing his body, and then Mark Hamill doing the voice and face and
Right.
everything, like that they are actually like have a post Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker movie. Has been like the rumor.
Right.
So I'd be down.
Yeah, I don't know though. That's the thing. Like, can we focus on the fact that it's the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith? Like,
Yeah,
there's so many of us that, I mean, you can't make movies we want. At least give us a rerun of the thing we want. You know what I mean? That is already made and part of the canon. Like, can you at least do that?
yeah. I think it's just because they're so like just in that they are sticking to a time period. Like you just don't see anybody else like other
Right.
than Boba, but Boba exists. So they're
Yep.
like, well, we can bring Luke in because Luke exists, and it just sucks because I mean, there's you can't do Anakin, you can't do like Obi-Wan, you can't do Yoda. They're spoiler
Yeah.
alert, they're all dead at that point. So
Yeah. A Luke movie would be awesome, but how in the heck can it be the Revenge of the Sith 20th and not have prequel characters promoting it? I agree, man. I
yeah, I
100%
mean,
agree.
yeah,
I mean, for Disney at this point, how many times can you drop the ball? I mean, they're like
I
Tony
mean,
Romo for the Dallas Cowboys. How many times can you fumble it? Like,
if we go with the football analogy, it's kind of like playing with a pulled hamstring. They already hampered themselves by locking themselves into a timeline, and by doing that, they've just kind of they're stuck. Like
yep,
so, even if they wanted to do it, they would pretty much do the thing that everybody gets mad at them for, and that's betraying their own lore. Because then, like, well, why the heck is Anakin Skywalker walking around post Return of the Jedi era? And
right.
unless you figure out how to do holograms good enough to make his Force Ghost just kind of hang out.
Disney hates money, confirmed. Disney
That is
hates money
absolutely
as much
true.
as Gazer hates Rebel Scum Con.
Confirmed.
You're gonna make me do it, aren't you? You're gonna make me pull up and make you look stupid.
Just prove a point. Yeah.
Just to
I mean,
prove a point.
I want you to go, but yeah, go ahead. You should just do it to prove a point.
I agree. All right, guys, I'm just showing up. All right, do you have a ticket? Nope, I'm just showing up to prove him wrong. Bye.
All right, go hop on another plane.
Right? See you later, guys.
Worth the
Oh
ticket.
man. Yeah, right.
But yeah, like
Um,
it does suck that they can't really pay like because I love Revenge of the Sith. Like it's so good, and
it is
I mean, I could always do without the Shakespearean like stuff that like just it didn't hit, but everything else is fire in that movie.
100%.
So, and it's just I am psyched to see like just those lightsaber battles, those the opening like battle over Coruscant, like seeing all that on the big
Yeah.
screen again. Like I
Yeah.
really hope there's an IMAX theater like near
Oh,
us.
100.
Like
Yeah, there will be. It's Nashville. There's got to be an
yeah,
IMAX theater around there.
like
Even if we have to
I
drive the 20 minutes up to Nashville, I'll do it. I don't care. I want
and
to see that.
it's all like I don't think even IMAX was a thing, was it when
Nope.
Revenge is no, so I mean this
Nope.
will be the first time I've ever seen it like that enormous, and that'll be
With all the
ugh
sound and everything, just,
yeah
like, yeah. I gotta
yeah
say, that was probably one of my favorite things growing up when they started coming out with that stuff. Is the whole all around you, and it was super loud. It was so
yeah
cool.
yeah I whenever when the first time I got like a sound bar with like the Dolby Atmos in it, I was having way too much fun with that. I was like, oh, I can hear it back here.
Right, right. I know. Clone Force 97 says Disney announced a few years back, I believe that Batu itself is removing the timeline stuff. That's why we're getting a Mando and Grogu overlay to Smuggler's Run.
Well, they're technically in the timeline though too,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean I'd be fine if they did that. Like because it's cool. I mean, I get what they were going for to be able to visit a specific place in Star Wars. That's I can see what they were going for. Like you're going to a time period, a place, like so that you feel like you're in actual Star Wars. But
Right.
I mean, it. I feel like you could hit way more fan bases and make the fans way more happy if you can find a way to like encapsulate all the eras into there. Like
Yep.
in some way other than turning making new offices. That's an idea.
Name 5 sequel lovers. Daisy
Get
Ridley. Man, this is harder than I thought. Daisy Ridley is it. No, just kidding.
Ryan
Disney
Johnson.
themselves. Ryan Johnson. Yep, there we go. Daisy Ridley, Ryan Johnson. Can't really say anything.
Oscar Isaac.
Does she even really like them?
Just start naming.
True.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if she
mean,
likes them or just getting a paycheck from
that's the
Disney.
thing. There's tons of actors out there that just do it because they're like, yeah, I'll do something for millions of dollars, whatever. They do
Right.
those movies so they can go do their like in the like artsy like Oscar movies. Like they can go do those so they go do the big paycheck movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care if they do another trilogy as long as they can maybe find a good direction with it. Go for it. I
Right.
mean, like we'll see.
Yeah.
They've been doing some right things lately, so I'm willing to always give them benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Says those names don't justify all those parks being made sequel based. Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I'll spout this till the day I die. I love Theory's idea. Why don't we have a whole park that's dedicated, like each section is a different planet, and like the atmosphere is kind of the same, so you can go to Tatooine and go to the Mos Eisley Cantina. You can go to Mustafar. You can go to Hoth. You can go, you know what I mean, and have different things in there for each of them.
And I think that was the problem from the get-go was they tried to make Star Wars one land when it really should get its own park. Like
Right.
it's just too big,
Yeah.
really, to just occupy with it. Because right now they're even just having trouble trying to figure out, well, we can't really fit anything anywhere else. And I get it for like California, because California is very much in like a territory lock problem. And they did just have like that levy that gave them more like room to work with, but they always have a problem out there. But there's so much swamp land that they just instantly turn into usable land in like Florida, like
Yeah.
in a heartbeat. So
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't think to just put like, yeah, like you said, you literally could have Batu be your sequel park, and then you could have like pick a planet from like the original trilogy, that be your original trilogy. Do Coruscant for the prequels.
Yeah.
Like there you
Yeah.
go. Like
Clone Force
it would
97 says episode 7 is good, 8 is okay, 9 ruined it all. We can have that convo one day. I actually think episode 7 was okay, 8 ruined it all, 9 was just a retcon of a retcon. And I'll argue that till the day I die. Or have an actual Batu East and West. Can we scream, Mr. Gobachek, please tear down this wall? No, I'm just kidding. Episode 8 ruined it. Yep. Episode 8 was the ruin. And this will come out in my conversation with Roger Christian, but we talked about this a little bit. And I said, we were talking about the sequels, and I said, for me, like 7 seemed okay. And then I said, what ruined it for me, is at the end of episode 7, Rey is holding out the lightsaber, right? And, especially after you talk to Roger Christian, you read his book, there's so much history built into that lightsaber. There's so much history and lore and legend in that lightsaber.
and
And at
honestly,
the
in that
beginning,
scene, like that
yeah,
scene is actually from George Lucas's original treatment.
yeah,
Like that concept was there
yeah.
until they decided to make Luke just huck it
Well, hold
backwards.
on. Let
Like
me get there. So, and then at the beginning of 8, right? Luke takes this lightsaber and he's holding it. And I'm like, holy crap, there is a lot of history and lore and just so much here. There's so much potential for this. And he literally takes all that history and lore and chucks it over his shoulder. It wasn't just a lightsaber that he chucked, you guys. It was the history and lore behind that lightsaber that he chucked over his shoulder. And Roger agreed. Roger was like, yeah, 100%. I would agree
Mark
with that.
Hamill agreed. Like
Yeah.
Mark Hamill even went to Ryan
Yep.
Johnson and told him right at the beginning of production, I do not agree with the treatment of this character, but I am a good actor and I will always follow my director. So
Yep.
I'm here to do what you need. Like
Yep.
so
Yeah, Roger
just
says Roger barely touched the sequels in our video. Yeah. I mean, he didn't do it we didn't talk about it like for a very lengthy period of time, but we did talk about it. And
I asked him about the Obi-Wan series at least, like
what he
when
say?
what he was just talking about like how like excited he was, like he just was like wondering like I hope it's my saber in
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
box.
he told me that too.
And
Yeah.
and he
And
was like he was just so relieved.
credit to Dave Filoni, man, for knowing his stuff.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and being so close to it. I mean, Dave Filoni may get some like some hits here and there too from like just the recent like bad stuff, but dude definitely appreciates the originals. Like he appreciates the history. I don't think he really had too much of a hand in the movies being made. So
Yeah. Better idea. Luke feels a tremor in the force and drops the saber in the moment and asks Rey how she got that saber. Yeah, something like that. Or, like he grabs the lightsaber and you hear, like the scream of Anakin on Mustafar. You hear his own scream of getting his hand chopped off. You know what I mean? Like you hear just like you don't have to see it, but just hear really key, quick moments. And then he drops it and he's like, where did you get that? Like
and honestly, I kind of wish like in my mind, the way the rest of that scene was going to go was there was going to be a far enough distance between them. He was just going to look at her and just whip lightsaber just comes over to his hands. Like and he's just looking at it. Like
yeah. Yeah. Jedi are above attachments could have been a thought process in that scene. Wasn't a good decision, but it was a decision. Yeah. But I I to quote Marvel and Samuel L. Jackson, given that it's a stupid beep decision, I'm choosing to ignore it.
thank you,
Um,
Nick Fury.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Um, Roger loves Dave for that. Absolutely. The milk scene was more cringe. Nah, to me, man, like, yes, the milk scene was cringe. Don't get me wrong. But to me, that lightsaber is where, I mean, and Roger says this in an interview, that's where he was lost at for the rest of the movie, right at the beginning of the movie when he did that. And same for me. The minute he chucked that over his lightsaber or that lightsaber over his shoulder, I was like, that's it. Like I'm out. Like you can't just take history like that and all that lore and chuck it over your shoulder like it means nothing. Attachments or not, that lightsaber means something, and it has for his not only his family history, but his own history has things attached to it. You can't just chuck that over your shoulder like it means nothing. Like you're doing that's not only a disservice to his character, but it's a disservice to the fans who love that character. And so yeah, I would have loved to see something completely different in that scene.
I think the problem was too is I built up Last Jedi way too. I built it up way too big in my mind because I saw all the similarities of Force Awakens and New Hope, like everybody saw. Like
Yeah.
so, my thought was, well, what if they're going to do Empire? Like, what if they're going to do like a modern, like kind of Empire inspired movie? It's not what we got, and and
No.
so I was just so I kind of already preemptively set myself up to fail in that movie, but
Yeah.
there's just a lot of things I wish they could take
Yeah.
back.
Nerd says I'm with the theory that Luke was standing over Mara Jade's grave. I'm okay with it at first, but then he overdoses on the Force, and that was the stupidest thing ever. I mean, that whole movie was just it was horrible. I'm sorry, it just was.
I can't
Um,
remember who posted. I think it was Star Wars Seth that posted the clip of him talking about like Luke overdosing on the Force, and I post the comment that friends will help friends who have Force addiction.
That's so funny. Clone Force 97 says, just about to say that. Thanks, Kyber. 7 is cut and paste A New Hope. 100%. It is. And so,
Yeah,
like, for me,
and I
like, it
don't
was,
mind it.
yeah, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't the best thing ever, but I was like, okay, like, there's some things they could do with this. I hope they're not just going to copy paste all the original trilogy movies in their own way. But let's see where they go with this. And then, yeah, I mean, it wasn't
I
even a
think
slow, gradual downhill. I mean, from the moment the movie started in 8, it just,
and 9, it just they rush so hard through the first like 20 minutes to undo like 8 that it just you never really could take 9 seriously. And I wanted to
mm.
so bad because I love Palpatine, and I was like, dope, we get to see like Ian back for like one more movie, and it just
I didn't even want to see him back for one more movie. That's the whole point of Anakin's story, is that he's the chosen one and he kills the Sith. Like, yeah, sure, the Sith eventually live on, but not that Sith. Like, Anakin done away with that. It proved that he was a chosen one. Now that he's back, you just undid the fact that he was the chosen one. Like,
yeah. I guess it was more or less I like exploring like old EU stories, and like it was pretty much them attempting to do a version of like Dark Empire. Pretty much was because you had a Palpatine clone that came back to take over like a remnant of the Empire, and then rather than turning like Luke to the dark side, he was attempting to turn Rey to the dark side.
yeah.
So I liked what they were going for. I could tell that that was definitely the a Dark Empire like vibe.
I don't know. To
But
me, like, I get what you're saying. To me, though, it was just a lot of lazy writing. They didn't want to figure out a new character to me. I couldn't do it. Says upon my watch parties recently, they really do copy and paste all 3 movies. 7, Desert Kid becomes Jedi. 8, Sand Kid goes to Hermit Jedi. 9, defeat Raisin Man. I mean, you're not wrong. Clone Force 97 says, I was against Ben's redemption. I think him accomplishing him something Vader couldn't, which was kill his master. I wanted him to be the big bad. Who you
yeah, I
wanted who
mean
to be the big bad? Vader?
Kylo, I think is what he's saying. He wanted Kylo to actually be
Oh,
the
Ben's redemption.
villain.
When you say Ben, I was thinking Ben Kenobi. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I mean, and Kylo too. There's so much that was never fleshed out. Like the Knights of Ren, we just saw like they're fleshed out in the comics, but who
yeah,
only a few people read the comics. So like most people are
right,
like, who are these dudes? They're just hanging out with Kylo. Like
right.
we never got to
Yeah,
explore them. Like
yep, yeah,
Captain
100%.
Phasma, another great opportunity, just never really got to look at. Like
I mean, yeah, he's supposed to. Guess that at the end there where it's all lit up, that's him exploding. According to everything I've read, all the at the end where the bottom of the shaft kind of goes like that's him exploding. Um, Last time I checked, Luke was being electrocuted. Yeah, I mean, he did. He threw him off these shafts. It's Anik in the end of Return of the Jedi. Well, that's what we see is we see Anakin returning. And that's something too that Roger said, and I don't want to spoil too much of the interview, but he did say, like, he goes, to me, the last true Luke arc that we got is at the end of Return of the Jedi when he brings his father back.
did you guys see that recent thing that came out? The Return of the Jedi, from a certain point of view, it explained Luke's Force Ghost,
No.
or not Luke's Force Ghost, Anakin's Force Ghost at the end of Return.
Oh, yes, I have. Yes. That
Yeah,
when Anakin truly died, he was his young self. That's why he
and he was so strong that he was able to like manifest himself as a Force Ghost. Like even like he was able to basically redeem himself after he was dead and
yeah.
become a Force Ghost after that. Like he was so strong in the Force.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Says at the cost of himself, my bad. Yeah. Kylo didn't die while killing Snoke. No, but he wasn't the chosen one.
and Snoke was also just not like you can tell Palps wasn't where they were going. Palps was, I mean, it was an availability. So they were
Yeah.
like, hey, let's
See,
bring back another original
that would have been
trilogy.
cooler. Like Theory's original idea, when like the whole reason he started his um channel was his theory on Snoke being possibly Plagueis. And I think they missed that opportunity. I think they missed an opportunity with Finn. I think Finn could have been an awesome character. You know, when he first
Yeah.
gets that lightsaber, I'm like, dude, this is cool. Like all of a sudden a rogue stormtrooper that is got Jedi powers, like that's
Yeah,
sick.
force sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were, like I said, there's so many things in it that there were concepts that were there. Like they were definitely tiptoeing around great ideas,
Yes.
and they just were never pushed to the front. Other things were pushed to the front that just nobody really cared about, and
Right.
they didn't pick right.
No.
Like I said, like they could have literally spent a good hour just showing stuff with the Knights of Ren. I've been like, fine, this is awesome. Like bunch
Right.
of cool dudes carrying lightsabers. They may not even be force sensitive, but they just like messing stuff up.
Yep. Gotta go the bros. Gotta go though, bros. Phone's at 1%. Good to see you, Star Wars nerd.
Charge it up,
Thanks for
buddy.
pop. You underestimate your phone's power. Don't try it. I
His
love it.
phone has the high ground.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's got the high ground. All right, guys. I don't have anything else. Like we said, we wanted to come on here and announce Warwick Davis for Iccc.
So
So
awesome.
super excited. Stay tuned as we get more news of Iccc and guests. We'll be on here announcing and talking about it with you guys. So, Kyber Forge, anything else before we take off?
No, hey, who do you got Sunday?
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's not
Same.
get that three-peat.
No.
Please, for the love of
Oh,
God.
random sports fact before we go.
Go for it.
I found out today while driving home that I don't know if you know him, but he's a famous basketball coach named Pat Riley. And he
Yep.
apparently trademarked the term three-peat. Anytime a team does it, he gets paid $300,000. So let's not let Pat Riley get $300,000.
Nope. Amen. Hallelujah. Go birds. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night on Nerds Galore, 9:30 p.m. Central Time, 10:30 Eastern. May the Force be with you all.